Presentation of Riverfront Broadcasting Sports. It's time for Post 8 Baseball on today's KCCR and today's KCCR.com. Post 8 Baseball is brought to you by Evermore Boutique, Wagner Auto, Oahe Federal Credit Union, Service Master, and Rising Hope Counseling.
Dean, outdoors right field. That one is going to get out for Bennett Dean. 5 runs driven in.
Post 8 Baseball is also brought to you by Todd's Electric, Pierre Sports Center, Air Tech, Gales Gas, Avera, Bank West, and B&B Equipment.
Zabel on the 3-0. Outdoor center field. That's far. That's gone. A 3-run homer for Grace Zabel. And it's a 3-1 lead.
Post 8 Baseball is also brought to you by Overhead Door Company, Gateway Ford, Lincoln, and Toyota, Birding Electric, Olson Plumbing, and Agtegra.
Here's a fly ball out to left field. Going back on it deep is Rue. He's going to turn and watch it sail over for a home run. And Andy Gordon, his first home run of the season, first home run of his career.
Post 8 Baseball is also brought to you by All Around Graphics, First Dakota National Bank, Comtech, Shane's Pharmacy, Black Hills Federal Credit Union, Midwest Cooperative, South Dakota Weed and Pest, Nystrom Electric, Dakota Sprinkler, and Lamb Motor.
The 2-1 pitch. Stout out towards right field. Did he get enough of it? Is it going to go? And walk off. Grand slam for Garrett Stout.
Post 8 Baseball is also brought to you by Kathy's Sun and Shine Properties, Sioux Nation, Kruger Contracting, Home Care Services, and Fisher Rounds. And now, with the call of today's action, KCCR award-winning sports director, John Winkler.
And from beautiful Heinz Stadium, we welcome you to a doubleheader here on this Sunday afternoon as Pierre Post 8 takes on Sioux Falls East as we get ready for 8 games this week, starting today all the way through next Saturday. 8 games be played here at Heinz Stadium for Post 8. Are coming in at 2-2. John Wickler alongside Greg Dean. And Greg, this should be a good matchup. It's always good to play a Sioux Falls team and try and get wins against Sioux Falls team, but a chance to play against Sioux Falls East after getting through that first week of the season.
Yeah, and this is a very good Sioux Falls East team. I think they come in 3-1 on the year, but they are primarily made up of players from the Sioux Falls Lincoln and a couple of Sioux Falls Washington players that we saw in the springtime. And Sioux Falls Lincoln ended the year as the number 1 seed in high school baseball, and that's where the bulk of this Sioux Falls East team comes from. And then you add in the top 2 pitchers from Sioux Falls, Washington, who went to the championship round of the high school baseball championship. And so this is going to be a really good test for the 8s today. And so we'll see how they respond, and I'm looking forward to this doubleheader.
And we look at Sioux Falls East. They have everybody available to pitch except for Nick Lounsbury. They played last Wednesday in a doubleheader against Watertown. They won the first game and ended up dropping the second game as they end up winning the first game 12-4, but lost the second game 16-9. And they used 7 different pitchers in that ball game, in the 2 ball games, and only Nick Lounsbury is the only guy that has to sit out those 4 days, and this being the 4th of those 4 days. So he is unavailable, and everybody else is available for Post 8. We haven't seen a whole lot of guys still get a full game in, but we're going to see Matt Hansen start here in game number 1. We'll see a couple of other pitchers, and again, this is 8 games over the span of the next 7 days, including 6 in 4 days on Wednesday, Thursday, and Saturday. So pitching becomes even more important as we get farther along in the season, because one, you want to have a good outing to help save the rest of the pitching arms, but also you got to be able to pick your spots of when you want to switch pitchers for the rest of the game.
Yeah, and this is a big week. Post 8 has Sioux Falls East today for a pair. Then they come back on Wednesday, hosting Watertown for a doubleheader. The next day they've got Mitchell at home for a doubleheader, and then they finish off this stretch against Renner number 2 for a doubleheader on Saturday night.
And so it's going to be a big week here, all here at Hyde Stadium, though. All 8 games will be played here at historic Hyde Stadium. We will step aside for 3 minutes, come back with more of the pregame show. You're listening to Post-8 Baseball on today's KCCR and today's KCCR.com.
Insurance. We all need it to protect our homes, health, businesses, and belongings. But having adequate coverage is just the beginning. You also need the support of professionals who stand by your side to protect what's important to you. Fisher Rounds & Associates combines the coverage you want with the commitment you need. Fisher Rounds & Associates, at your service, at your side, with offices in Pierre, Mitchell, Watertown, Sioux Falls, and Rapid City.
BankWest Insurance has the expertise and resources to deliver personalized service and customized solutions. As an independent agency, we shop dozens of companies to get you the best coverage at the best price. As your trusted choice for insurance coverage, we promise to go the extra mile so you can rest assured your loved ones and your assets are protected. Contact your local agent to put BankWest Insurance to work for you.
Not a deposit, not FDIC insured, not insured by any federal agency, not guaranteed by any bank, may go down in value, equal opportunity provider.
At Black Hills Federal Credit Union, our top priority is providing value to our members. Since 1941, we have helped our neighbors buy homes and vehicles, finance their farms and ranches, insure their assets, and retire comfortably. From Custer to Sioux Falls, we live and work in our communities, and we treat our members like family. Visit bhfcu.com to learn more about how you can join. BHFCU is member-owned, not-for-profit, and federally insured by NCUA.
Home Care Services is a private agency committed to providing expert advice and specialized care to those who want to remain living independently at home. Home Care Service has a team of nurses, caregivers, and administrative staff that offers a full range of in-home support services to our area. For more information about Home Care Services, call 224-2273. Expert advice, professional care. Home Care Services, 224-2273.
Building a home. It's the biggest investment most of us make in a lifetime. Not to mention it's a decision that, well, you pretty much live with day and night. The quality of the workmanship stares back at you like a reflection. It also affects the value of your investment. Choosing the right contractor is critical. Kruger Contracting is that contractor. Call 222-2523. Quality workmanship and materials completed on time. Kruger Contracting. In a word, quality. Call 222-2523.
Sioux Nation of Fort Pierre knows what that sound is. It's baseball season. They also know that means it's grilling season. Sioux Nation has the Green Mountain Grill choices that you need for those hot dogs and burgers for tailgating. And let's be honest, you know there will be a steak in there too. Visit Sioux Nation of Fort Pierre and see their selection of grills. While you're there, also pick up some seasonings for your grilling needs. Visit Sioux Nation at 504 Deadwood Street, Fort Pierre.
As we welcome you back here to Hyde Stadium as we are getting set for Game 1 of this doubleheader between Pierre and Sioux Falls East. John Winkler alongside Greg Dean. It's a beautiful day, Greg, and especially for what the temperatures were yesterday, we'll absolutely take a high 80s, low 90s day today.
Yeah, and the wind is picked up today, and so that's gonna add another element to the game today, and so we'll see how the young men on both sides respond to, and I'm sure just being down on the field, if you're playing in a doubleheader in the mid 80s, that's a whole different deal than yesterday when it was about 102.
Yeah, yesterday was a pretty warm day for what would have been for baseball, but here this afternoon, on this Sunday afternoon, Post 8 and Sioux Falls East getting a little bit of a break from that from the amount of heat that's been going through, and we'll miss what tomorrow and Tuesday is supposed to be as well before we get back to being playing on Wednesday and Thursday of this week, and then we'll play on Saturday as well, all here at Hyde Stadium. First road game still 10 days away. That's going to be out in Rapid City when they take on Post 22, but here at 2-2 right now, you're 2-2 at home in those 4 games you played so far. It's pretty simple. You want to win all your games at home. You'll be 750 at home, half the games on the road. But it's tough to do. But when you're here and playing in front of the home fans, these are games that you really, really want to go. You want to have some doubleheader sweeps.
Yeah, and again, just to remind the listeners that the way that the playoff seeding is set up is that every game against a South Dakota opponent counts towards your seed points, and so that places an extra amount of emphasis on these double headers against the South Dakota teams, and so we'll see how things shake out today. This whole week is important, obviously. Whole set of games at home against South Dakota teams. Very important for the seed points, but again, it's a long season, and so you kind of have to balance as a coaching staff, playing for the win today versus making sure that you're still ready to go and set up at the end of the season when playoff time rolls around.
And Matt Hansen will be the guy on the mound to start in game number 1. He threw an inning in the third in his only appearance so far. We got did not allow a run. Actually, you allowed 3 runs, but none of them were earned. So his ERA is 0, but the WHIP is up at 3 right now. It's going to be important for him to get ahead and stay ahead here in this ball game.
Yeah, and I think that's the biggest thing is just being able to get ahead, especially get ahead in the count. I mean, the biggest thing that we've seen so far in the summer season versus the spring season is the fact that and again, the teams are virtually identical from the spring season to the summer season, but the biggest thing is the pitchers have had a little bit of a challenge finding the strike zone. I mean, the walk rate has been up. I mean, they're averaging almost a walk an inning right now as a team, and so that's been a little bit of a challenge. And again, the fielding has not been quite as sharp. We talked a little bit to Coach Brian White about that after the game doubleheader on Thursday, and he brought up a good point that there's just a difference between balls that come off a metal bat and balls that come off a wood bat. I mean, they're probably coming at you a little harder, a little faster, and so there's just an adjustment that you got to make in terms of fielding in the summer in the Legion season versus the spring season.
And they will go against Tyler Boyum, who did not throw last Wednesday. He was not one of those 7 guys for Sioux Falls East that threw in that doubleheader. So he's coming in fresh as Sioux Falls East is at 3-1 so far on the early season. Post 8 and Sioux Falls East coming up here in just a little bit. We'll step aside for another 3 minutes. You're listening to Post 8 Baseball on today's KCCR and today's KCCR.com.
Looking for your next new or used car, truck, or SUV? Then go no further than the comfort of your own home. Shop online at lambmotor.com. On lambmotor.com, you'll find the vehicles Lambs has in stock. You can schedule a test drive or your vehicle's next tune-up, all online. New or used, shop for it all online, anywhere you are. Lamb Motor has the right vehicle for you. Lamb Motor in Oneida and online, lambmotor.com.
This is the life. Sitting here, sipping lemonade, basking in the warm sun, and admiring the beauty and the solitude of my very own landscaped backyard. I wasn't sure, but I was so glad when I made the call to Andy at Dakota Sprinkler and Landscaping to finally have the work done. Calling Dakota Sprinkler and Landscaping was probably one of the best and the easiest decisions I've ever made.
Dakota Sprinkler and Landscaping, 280-4440. That's 280-4440.
Nystrom Electrical Contracting in Pierre has been providing professional sales, service, and installation since 1977. Whether you're starting from scratch, new construction, or you're upgrading your current system at your home, farm, or office, give the professionals at Nystrom Electrical Contracting a call. They've got a lot of bright ideas. Call Nystrom's today to schedule a free computer-generated estimate. The number is 224-8750, or visit their website at nystromelectric.com.
ATVs provide wonderful outdoor recreation, but they can also rapidly spread noxious weeds. An ATV can pick up noxious weeds in one area and spread them to the next area in which it is used. When you finish your ride, make sure your ATV is free of weeds and weed seeds. Cleaning your machine is important in stopping the spread of noxious weeds like leafy spurge. To find out how you can help prevent the spread of noxious weeds, call the South Dakota Department of Agriculture or your local county weed and pest supervisor.
As long as you have a local cooperative, you'll never farm alone. At CHS Midwest Cooperative, our team is your team, ready to help you make the decisions that are vital to your operation. From the seed, plant health, and marketing the grain, to fuel to keep you running, the feed to supplement your herds, and the financing programs to make it all possible. We're here for you. Give CHS Midwest Cooperative a call today and let us show you the value of the co-op. Local, loyal, and trusted for generations.
Service Master of Pierre. It's no secret we clean carpets professionally, but not many people know we clean furniture, kitchens, bathrooms, walls, floors, and windows. We also do fire and water restoration, plus construction cleanups. There's nothing we can't clean. Give Service Master a call at 224-9919. Service Master, the clean you expect, the service you deserve. Service Master, 224-9919.
As we welcome you back here at Hyde Stadium as we are getting set for first pitch. Doing a pass along from News Director Zach Nelson. The 104 was the official high at the airport yesterday. We are much happier to be playing in 90-degree weather today than in 104.
Actually, we've got, according to what I'm seeing, 83 degrees at first pitch.
Oh, absolutely. You get a little bit of a breeze, and we hope that it's not too much of a breeze. We're trying to get some already the dirt starting to make a dust cloud. You don't want to get too much breeze, but a good breeze. As it looks like the wind will kind of maybe be swirling a little bit today. The flag out in center field is blowing straight out right now. Had the wind come through here, the press box, but we are just about set for baseball. As they are announcing the starting lineups, we'll have a national anthem and then first pitch. We will step aside for 3 minutes, come back with first pitch. You're listening to Post-8 Baseball on today's KCCR and today's KCCR.com.
Service Master of Pierre. It's no secret we clean carpets professionally, but not many people know we clean furniture, kitchens, bathrooms, walls, floors, and windows. We also do fire and water restoration, plus construction cleanups. There's nothing we can't clean. Give Service Master a call at 224-9919. Service Master, the clean you expect, the service you deserve. Service Master, 224-9919.
At Shane's Pharmacy, your healthcare is important, and Shane wants to be the pharmacist to take care of you. Shane's Pharmacy will make sure your prescriptions are filled in a timely manner. They'll answer your questions, and they'll even deliver to your home or office. Call 223-9200. Shane's Pharmacy is the pharmacy you know and trust. That number again is 223-9200. Shane's Pharmacy in Fort Pierre, proud to support high school athletics.
Comtech in Pierre invites you to come out and check out their expansive showroom. It's filled with everything you need to thrive in today's technology-dependent world and a knowledgeable staff to guide you through. Comtech has TVs, computers, personal electronics to commercial electronics, anything to fit your technology needs. The experienced professionals at Comtech can guide you through any questions you may have. Whether you struggle with technology or live for it, Comtech can help you find exactly what you're looking for. Comtech will even install and service what they sell, so you don't have to worry once you get your products home. Comtech, located at 1601 North Lowell Avenue behind Walmart. Check them out online at ComtechPlus.com.
South Dakota didn't always have a capital, or even a permanent settlement for that matter. There wasn't always a river city on the Missouri River. And before First Dakota filed the first charter in 1872, there wasn't always a bank in South Dakota. Every timeless institution, tradition, and thriving business was started somewhere by someone who had a dream and the passion to make it happen first. What will be your South Dakota first? Visit firstdakota.com/first. Member FDIC.
Do you need the Pierre Governor apparel for the big game? Or how about Stanley County apparel or Post-8 apparel? All Around Graphics in Pierre is your place to go. Not only can you get your apparel, but they also do screen printing, jerseys, awards, and trophies. And did you know they can print and customize your signs? All Around Graphics can do it all. Located at 819 North Euclid Avenue or call 224-4677. All Around Graphics in Pierre, your one-stop shop.
Agtegra in Highmore. We pride ourselves on providing our customers with reliable markets, superior services, and quality products. From corn and soybeans to spring and winter wheat, you can trust Agtegra in Highmore with all your grain handling needs. It's all about helping you achieve the best harvest possible. Call Agtegra of Highmore today at 605-846-1379. That's 605-846-1379.
As we welcome you back here to Hyatt Stadium, we are getting set for first pitch as we go through the starting lineups. First, it'll be for Sioux Falls East. Grant Graber will be the leadoff man. He's playing second base. Ty Schaefer, the third baseman, batting second. Garen Heinert, the right fielder, will bat fourth. Nate Sprinkle, the center fielder, batting fifth. It'll be Jackson Bowe, the first baseman, batting sixth. Aiden Beck, the catcher, batting sixth. Jackson Bowe's batting fifth. As Miles Reese, the shortstop, will bat seventh. Gage Sharping, the DH, batting eighth, and Nate Olson, left fielder, batting ninth. I think I skipped somebody in there, too. I don't think I got that starting lineup all the way right. Graber, Schaefer, Heinert, Sprinkle, Bowe, Beck, Reese, Sharping, and Olson. There we go. And they're going to go against Matt Hansen, who is coming in for his second appearance on the season. He threw an inning and a third his last time out. This will be his first start of the year. He gave up 3 hits, 3 runs. None of those were earned, though. 1 walk, 1 strikeout. He did hit 1 man as his ERA is sitting at 0. His whip is at 3. And, Greg, we'd mentioned it at the beginning in our pregame show that he's going to be effective. He's got to be effective early on and really help out this pitching staff because we got 8 games over the next 7 days. And really, every time we sit there and talk with a new game, we probably got somewhere around 8 games in 7 days. But every time you get a good outing to start a doubleheader, that opens a lot of doors up for the rest of the day.
Yeah, and I think this is one of those games where you're going to look for an extended outing from Matt Hansen, and then Bennett Dean is going to get the start in game number 2, and so you're going to look for an extended outing just because of the number of games that Post State has in front of them in the next week, and this happens to be a day where they just don't have a lot of available arms coming off of that doubleheader on Thursday, and so that and due to a couple of other circumstances, and so this is going to be a day where you really are looking for probably both Hansen and Dean are probably going to have to go deep into this game, probably close to that 100 pitch mark. Hopefully you get 5 or 6 innings out of them.
As we are set for baseball this afternoon, Grant Graber will step to the plate. Matt Hansen, he is ready on the mound. And here comes the first pitch here of game number 1. Well, it's upstairs, 4-1, as it's right at 1 o'clock at KCCR Pierre Riverfront Broadcasting Station. Right on time. This doubleheader here between Pierre Post State and Sioux Falls East. 1-0 pitch comes inside and is now 2-0.
83 degrees at first pitch. Wind is out of the north, 22 miles an hour. It's blowing out today almost, if you look at the flag, blowing almost straight out to straightaway center today.
Here's the 2-0 pitch. That one's above the letters and is now quickly 3-0. Much better than we have 21 degrees cooler than what the high was yesterday, which is wild, and that we're still out in shorts and T-shirts. Here's the 3-0 pitch. That one is at the knees, and that's over for strike 1.
Sioux Falls East wearing the camouflage brown and white tops, gray pants, purple caps, black bills, the whites, or the 8s in all white. They're all white uniforms, white tops, white pants, black letters, black numbers, the word 8s written across the chest, and green piping with green and black caps and black bills for Post State today.
3-2 pitch is a chopper, the third baseman Gordon. He'll jump to make the grab. The throw to first to Getz is in time, and the leadoff man is retired. After being up in the count 3-0, Matt Hansen, or I should say down the count 3-0 for Matt Hansen, he's able to recover, get a 3-2 pitch and a ground out to open up the ball game. Spencer Lettler is out in left field. Jack Merquan in center. Isaac Pollock, the right fielder. Andy Gordon's at third. Lincoln Keno's the shortstop. Jaden Wiebe at second. Brady Getz at first. Cade Hinkle behind the plate as Matt Hansen delivers the first pitch to Ty Schaefer for ball 1. Bennett Dean is in the lineup. He is the hitter, the DH for Matt Hansen, as he is also the Game 2 starter. Here's the 1-0 pitch. That one's at the knees and it's now 1-1. So far what we've seen is this umpire will give that low strike to you in the first two hitters. The 3 strikes have been called from Hansen have been around the knees, maybe a little bit lower than the knees, but he was consistent those 3 strike calls. Counts now 2-1 as that one missed upstairs.
Matt Hansen on the year. This is his second appearance, first start through an inning and a third against Post 22 on last Tuesday in that 9-6 victory for the 8s. Through an inning and a third that night. did not factor into the decision was the bridge was the first guy in the bridge between Elliott Life and Lincoln Keenholz, who came in and got the save that night. He did give up 3 hits, 3 runs. None of them were earned. 1 walk, 1 strikeout. Did hit a batter, so he has a 0.0 ERA, but a WHIP at 3.0.
2-2 pitch. There's a ground ball on the left side. That's through for a base hit. And there's the first man on base for Sioux Falls East. And a good job there from Schaefer, because he took that 2-1 pitch. He fouled it off of his leg and hopped around all the way back around behind home plate. Comes back in the next pitch and hits it through the hole on the left side. So first base runner on board here for Sioux Falls East. It'll be Garrett Heinert, the right fielder, with a runner on first and 1 down here in the top of the first. Hanson will work from the stretch for the first time. Here's the first pitch. That one will miss low and outside for ball 1.
And again, it's just I think the 2 big factors today for the post-8 pitching staff is going to be first pitch strikes, getting ahead early, and just limiting those walks.
That one will bounce in front of Hinkle and get to the backstop. So taking second is going to be Schaefer on the wild pitch, and the count's now 2-0. Heinert on Wednesday against Watertown went 2 for 8 in that doubleheader with an RBI. Again, Sioux Falls East won 12 to 4 in the first game and lost 16-9 in the second game. That was so far that's their only loss of the season. They're 3-1. 2-0 pitch comes inside and is now 3-0 here to Garrett Heinert. On deck is Nate Sprinkle, the center fielder, the cleanup man. Here comes the 3-0 pitch from Matt Hansen. That's upstairs, and it's a 4-pitch walk. It's now first and second with 1 down.
And again, to be successful, the 8s are going to have to limit those walks today. I mean, that, as we said earlier, I mean they've been averaging right at about 1 walk per inning through the first 4 games, and that's just a rate that you just can't stand or can't handle if you're going to go forward and win a lot of ball games. You just can't issue a lot of free passes going forward.
That's the 30th walk of the season so far, and just now 4 games and an out in the game 5. That first pitch is in the dirt, good block by Hinkle, and it's 1-0. They've also hit 6 guys too, so 36 free passes have been issued from the 8s on walks or hit men in 4 games, and again 1 out here in the top of the first of game number 5 of the season. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Upstairs, that's at the letters, and it's now 1-1. That looked like it was ready to call it a ball before it got across the plate. Home plate umpire says, probably a good thing for me that I'm not a home plate umpire. It counts 1-1. Hanson will come from the stretch. Now here's the 1-1 pitch. That one's on the outside edge, and it's taken for strike 2.
Nate Sprinkle, one of the few non-Sioux Falls, Lincoln, Sioux Falls, Washington players. We last saw him when the Governors played down at Sioux Falls O'Gorman. He caught that game, actually ended up leaving that game with some concussion symptoms that day.
1-2 pitch. He'll go the other way with that to left field. That's down for a base hit. Lettler will come up with a throw towards the plate. It's cut off by Gordon. And nearly taking too much liberty getting away from second was Heinert. But he will be back into second safely, and the run comes in to score. And it's a 1-0 lead now for Sioux Falls East with still runners at first and second and 1 down.
Yeah, and again, been busy going to left field today. All three of those hits from Schaefer, Heinert, and Sprinkle have all gone to left field. So the 2 right-handers that pulled the ball and Sprinkle, the left-hander, went the other way.
As the first pitch is missed for ball 1. Here to Jackson Bowe, the first baseman. Back-to-back lefties in the lineup here for Sioux Falls East. Here's the 1-0 pitch. That one's at the knees, and it's now 1-1. Yeah, it looks like that low strike's going to be there here in game number 1, or at least here at the top of the first, which if you're a pitcher, you can take advantage of it. You want to keep things low, but if the umpire's going to give you a lower strike, maybe just a little bit below the knees, absolutely want to live down there. So 1-1 pitch is upstairs and outside, and it's now 2-1.
Yeah, and again, just a little bit of bait for the pitcher. I mean, if he's going to give you that low strike, I mean, there's even more incentive to live low in the strike zone.
Here's a 2-1. That one's popped foul and out of play. as it'll get across Capital. And the count's now 2 balls and 2 strikes. Ground ball gets you out of it. 1-0 lead here for Sioux Falls East. RBI single from Nate Sprinkle gives them that 1-0 lead. Heinert on at second, Sprinkle on at first. Here's the 2-2 from Hansen. Runner's taken off. That's through the left side for another base hit. Runs easily going to come in to score. So it's going to be first and second again. And it's 2-0. No chance at all to try and throw out Heinert when he was taken off for the pitch. So it's now a 2-0 ball game on another RBI single. And that's from Jackson Bowe.
And again, just another ball through the left side, and not anything that the defense, Gordon and Keenholz, can do about any of those balls. Just balls that have found their way through the hole or line drives into the grass, and so far Sioux Falls East showing their offensive prowess. They put up a lot of runs the other night against Watertown, and they continue to swing the bats well.
First pitch to Aiden Beck is taken high for ball 1. He was the catcher here in game number 1. Beck went 2 for 4, did not play in game number 2 for Sioux Falls East. He went 2 for 4 in game 1 with 2 runs driven in. He's got a 2-0 count right now here against Matt Hansen. And you know, that's the only thing that's been that you can throw against Hansen right now is just the walk that he issued to Heinert. The 2-0 pitch is upstairs, and it's now 3-0. Everything else, that's just the game of baseball. And Coach White and Coach Niles will live with those hits to the left side on the 3 singles so far from Sioux Falls East. And that's just how the game of baseball is played. But there's the second walk now issued by Hansen, and that's what you don't want is now to walk the bases loaded with 1 down.
Yeah, the other thing that's becoming an issue is Hansen's pitch count is really running up quickly here. He's approaching the 30 pitch mark, and he's only got 1 out here in the top of the first, and so on a day when you really need your starter to go deep into this game, this first inning is not working out at all like I think Coach Brian White had hoped for.
First pitch to Miles Reese is taken for strike 1. He's a shortstop here in this ball game. Went 2 for 3 in game 1, 0 for 3 in game number 2 against Watertown. That was back on Wednesday. The 0-1 is upstairs and is now 1-1.
Eights have the corners. Andy Gordon at third. Brady Getz at first. In on the grass. They're back in the middle between Keenholz and Wiebe.
Here's the 1-1 pitch. That one's fouled back to the netting, and now it's 1-2.
Eights are looking to try to turn a double play. Any ground ball to the corners coming home. Anything in the middle is going to go to second and back to first.
There's a big pitch upcoming here from Matt Hansen. 1-2 is the count, and the bases are loaded here with 1 down from the windup. Here's a 1-2 pitch. That one's a line shot to left field. Lettler will come in. He can't make the catch. It drops in front of him, and it's going to be a 3-0 lead now. A 4th hit to left field, and that one hangs up just a little bit longer. Lettler can get there, but it dropped in front, and it's now a 3-0 lead here in the top of the first, and there's still only 1 down. The bases remain loaded.
Yeah, and again, other than Matt Hansen and Cade Hinkle, the busiest guy in the field has been Spencer Lettler. He's handled the ball almost as much as the pitcher and the catcher have so far this game.
First pitch is a bounce in the dirt. Hinkle was able to block it. It went to his right, but not far enough for the runner at third base and Bowe to try and score. All 4 hits so far have been out in the left field. And even the ground ball from Graber was fielded by Gordon on the left side. So everything's gone to the left side, even though 2 of the 4 hits have been gone the other way with Sprinkle and Bowe, as Hinkle and Hansen now will talk a little bit out at the mound. As Gage Sharping is up in the count 1-0. It's a tough inning, and but you can't really blame anything on Matt Hansen. Yeah, he's got the 2 walks, but those are just base hits that are finding their way through, and nobody's really hit the ball hard on Hansen yet in this ball game. Here's the 1-0 pitch. That one will miss just a little low, and it's now 2-0.
Yeah, nice mound visit from Cade Hinkle. I mean, that's kind of what you kind of expect out of the veteran catcher, just going out to try to settle Matt Hansen down as he's laboring here in a little bit of a long inning here in the top of the first.
2-0 pitch is a swing and a miss, and is now 2-1 here to Gage Sharping. He did not throw for Sioux Falls East last Wednesday. He might be the Game 2 starter. Here's the 2-1 pitch. And one will bounce in. It's now 3-1. I believe the Governor saw him throw back in the season. Or did they not?
I don't think they did. I mean, he would have been a Sioux Falls, Washington pitcher. I don't think we saw him because I think he had thrown
That's right.
the game before, and so he was not available. He and Boyum had thrown the doubleheader, I think 2 days before. 2 days before the Governors played Sioux Falls, Washington here on that Friday.
It was a 4-pitch walk issued to Sharping, so now it's a 4-0 lead here in the top of the first. And here's Nate Olson. 7 straight guys have reached base here for Sioux Falls East after the first man was retired. First pitch is in the dirt, and Hinkle missed it, but it went off the umpire. So he's able to keep it in front as it counts now 1-0. Nate Olson, the number 9 hitter in the order. On deck is Grant Graber, who started this inning off with a ground out. Looked fairly promising. Well, even first and second with one down. But it's been 7 straight men to reach base as the 1-0 is over, and it's now 1-1. 3 walks and 4 hits so far here for Sioux Falls East in the top of the first. Bases are loaded. Corners are in for Post 8. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Here's a swing and a miss, and it's now 1-2. And this is probably not, again, it definitely is not what Coach White and Coach Niles are hoping for in Game 1. But in terms of trying to utilize their pitchers here today, not the ideal start to this doubleheader as it counts now 2-2. Because Hansen will have to really settle in and have some quick innings to try and get the most innings out of him. Here's a 2-2 pitch. Bounces in, and it's now 3-2. A good block again from Hinkle.
Yeah, and again, you kind of look to set that pitch count at about 15 pitches an inning, and if you can be right around that mark, you're going to go deep into a game. Well, right now, Hansen has just thrown pitch number 43 on the day, and so and again, he's only got 1 out here in the top of the first. So at the pace that he's going, he's only going to get through 2, 3, maybe 4 innings. I mean, right now, you kind of lower that bar from hoping he goes 5 or 6, and now you're just kind of hoping if you can get 4 innings out of him.
There's another walk issued by Hansen to allow another run to score, so it's 5-0 as the first pitch is taken for strike 1 to Grant Graber, who grounded out to open up the ball game. And Tyler Boyum's going to go down the bullpen and start throwing a little bit. There's been a while since he did warm up, get ready for this game. As the 0-1 is bounced in, and the count's now 1-1 here to Graber.
Yeah, I don't think Boyum was expecting a 15-minute first inning like this one has become, and now we've got a mound visit from Coach Brian White. And again, this is kind of a just need to settle down and throw strikes kind of visit.
I think Brecken Kruger might be getting loose in the bullpen down in right field. And so, yeah, Coach White kind of maybe buying some time here because, and again, these hits for Sioux Falls East have been nothing to, and credit them. They've gotten base hits. I don't want to take away the fact that they've gotten base hits, but they're not the hard hits that are just hitting it all over the ballpark. I mean, those are just through on the left side. Those are ones as a pitcher, I guess every hit kind of makes you upset a little bit, but those are ones that you go, okay, if they just hit it to the left or right, even just a little bit, those were out of this inning without any run scoring. They weren't tagged all over the place. They were just solid base hits through the left side that could have gone for an out somewhere else, as now Graber is hit by a pitch, so another run will come in to score. And Post State struggling here to get out of this top of the first inning, as it's now a 6-0 lead here with 1 down in the top of the first inning. And that'll bring up Ty Schaefer, who started this rally with a single. Got walked by Heinert, and then RBI singles in the next 2 batters. First pitch is a ground ball, be fielded, bobbled by Getz. He'll come home with it. The play is made to retire the man at home. The bases are remaining loaded, but there's finally the second out of the top of the first, as it'll bring up Garrett Heinert.
sometimes you just gotta bust through the dam, and sometimes just getting that one out, kind of opens things up, kind of takes the pressure off, and just lets the boys relax a little bit, and so hopefully now that there's 2 outs, even though the Eights are down 6-0 and have yet to come to the plate in this game, hopefully maybe that turns the tide a little bit.
There's a ground ball by Heinert, fielded by Keenels at short. The throw to first to retire the side. So just took about 2 pitches after the hit batter to get out of that inning and finally get out of that inning. But 6 runs will come in to score on 4 hits, no errors, and 3 men left on base. We head to the bottom of the first, and Pierre's got a lot of work in front of him already, down 6-0 to Sioux Falls East. You're listening to Post-8 Baseball on today's KCCR and today's KCCR.com.
Are you building a new home or remodeling the old? Adding a fireplace can make a house a home. Olson Plumbing in Pierre carries a full line of Heat-A-Later fireplaces. Whether your taste is traditional or contemporary, Olson Plumbing has a great selection of Heat-A-Later fireplaces that will fit any style. Whether you're building new or updating, call Olson Plumbing. Heat-A-Later Fireplaces, the first name in fireplaces. Olson Plumbing in Pierre is your source for the industry's largest selection of indoor-outdoor fireplaces, either gas or wood, and outdoor fire pits. Stop by their showroom at 2803 East Wells or give them a call, 224-6436.
Ferding Electric has a long history of doing electrical work the right way. Economical service, professional work, and customer satisfaction is why they can say that. Ferding Electric can do residential, farm, and commercial projects. Doesn't matter if they are charged with new construction or a remodel project, they get it conducted. Contact the staff at Ferding Electric at 224-8684. They can light a spark into your next project. Ferding Electric, 224-8684.
As we welcome you back here to the bottom of the first inning, and Post-8 will be looking to chip away as they're down 6-0 here in the first inning. Lincoln Keenels will lead things off. He's a shortstop. Kane Hinkle bat second, playing the catching position. Andy Gore, the third baseman, batting third. Bennett Dean, the DH, in the cleanup spot. Spencer Lettler will bat fifth and play left field. Jaden Wiebe, the second baseman, batting sixth. Brady Getz, the first baseman, batting seventh. Jack Merkwan, the center fielder, batting eighth. And Isaac Pollock will bat ninth and play right field for the Eights here in this ball game. Lincoln Keenels will come to the plates against Tyler Boyum. Again, he did not throw against Watertown on Wednesday. Although they used 7 different pitchers, he was not one of those 7. Only Nick Lounsbury unavailable to throw today for Sioux Falls East. Keenels will step to the plate, batting .357 so far here through the 4 games. First pitch to him. It's taken for strike 1. And after a long first inning, took about 20 minutes to get that first inning in, top of the first. Boyum starts with a strike. We'll see how still loose he is. 0-1 pitch is missing low and is now 1-1.
Yeah, Keenholz comes in hitting .357 on the year, 5 hits and 14 at-bats, 3 singles, 2 doubles, 2 RBIs, 4 runs scored. He does have a stolen base among those 2 extra base hits.
There's a ground ball. That one pops over the head of the third baseman, Schaefer, in left field, and that's how you want to start this first inning. Can't score all 6 runs at once, but you can get some base hits, pass it on to the next guy, and keep things rolling here in the bottom of the first. There's a long baseball game ahead of us. It's a 6-0 lead, but there's a lot of time left in this ball game to chip away and come back down 6-0 as Cade Hinkle will step to the plate.
And it's kind of like what we saw the other night against Brookings. The Eights come in, get 3 in the bottom of the first, and then after an extended inning, Brookings comes back and puts a 7th spot on the board in the top of the second. So I think the biggest thing right now for the Eights is just come out and try to generate some offense. You probably aren't going to get all 6 back in 1/2 inning, so just come back out and put a couple on the board and start trying to turn the momentum.
Hinkle takes strike 1. The count's now even at a ball and a strike. He's coming in hitting as Cade Hinkle just had it, as he's hitting .385 as the count's now 1-2 here to Hinkle. .385. He's only walked 3 times too. He's a very patient hitter. He walks quite a bit, but he's only walked 3 times so far in 4 games. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Hinkle will foul that away and is now still remains at 1-2.
Yeah, Hinkle really good at grinding those at bats. Like you said, 3 walks so far in the year, 5 hits and 13 at bats, all of them singles. He's got an RBI, scored 4 times. 385 batting average, 529 on base percentage, kind of the ideal batter you want in that number 2 hole.
Here's a ground ball up the middle. It's going to be bobbled by the shortstop. The throw to first, though, is still in time by Reese. Keenels was off with the pitch, and once Reese bobbled it, I don't even know if he would have feel it cleanly, he would have been able to get Keenels, but he does get Hinkle out at first, so there's now one down here in the bottom of the first inning, as it'll bring up now the number 3 hitter in Andy Gordon.
Gordon coming into this game, I believe, leads the team in hitting at .412, 7 hits in 17 at bats, 6 singles, a double, 1 RBI, 5 runs scored on early in this season for the Eights.
As they'll foul the first pitch away, and it's 0-1 here to the number 3 hitter Andy Gordon. From the stretch, here's Boyums, 0-1 to the third baseman, and will bounce in. It's now 1-1. It got away from the catcher and back, and Keenels will take third base as he slides in safely without a throw. So he is now on at third and in scoring position. Well, he was in scoring position, but now 90 feet away for Gordon to try and drive in to start to cut into that 6-0 lead from Sioux Falls East. Here's the 1-1 pitch, and Gordon will foul it out of play, and it's now 1-2.
And again, with the wind blowing out, this is and the fact that it's in the mid-80s today, sun is shining, almost totally blue sky. I mean, this is the kind of day where you get a ball up in the air and it's probably going to go a ways. And so again, the Eights only having 6 extra base hits through 4 games, you kind of would expect them to be, with the offensive prowess they showed in the spring, kind of to be a little more on the power side, especially with the switch to metal bats from wood bats.
Gordon will poke that into left field for a base hit. That got down for a single. Take the long turner at first, but he gets an RBI single here with 1 down as he was well out in front of it. Hey, but using the strength that he has just to poke it down the line. It got pretty, you mentioned it, Greg, that the ball can carry a little bit here, and it carried pretty far out there in left field, and of course with the strength of Gordon as well, but he makes it now a 6-1 ball game with the RBI single.
Yeah, a pitch that Gordon really got fooled on, actually just almost kind of just threw the bat at the ball just to trying to stay alive, and when he did, he was out in front of it, and I thought the ball might have hung up enough that maybe the left fielder Olsen might have been able to get over and get underneath it, but came down and landed for a base hit, and the Eights have a run on the board.
Bennett Dean fouled the first pitch back, and now he pops the 0-1 pitch up into shallow left field. It's going to be a tough play. It's going to drop in for a single. The shortstop, Rees, was going back on it and jumped and leapt and fell to the ground but couldn't come away with the ball. And it's now first and second on the blooper single from Bennett Dean. And that'll bring up now Spencer Lettler batting fifth here in the ball game, first and second with 1 down.
Yeah, just kind of a flare going the other way and kind of landed in no man's land. And so the Eights catch a bit of a break there. They got runners on first and second now with 1 out.
First pitch to Spencer Lettler, swings and misses, and it's 0-1. Lettler so far batting .400. He's 2 for 5 on the season. 2 runs driven in, another runner on scoring position for him. As the 0-1 pitch, he'll swing and miss at that one, and it's now 0-2.
Yeah, Lettler been dealing with a little bit of a shoulder issue. Good to see him back in the lineup after missing the doubleheader on Thursday against Brookings.
So now here is the 0-2 pitch from Boyum to Lettler. Swings and misses and goes down on 3 pitches, and there's 2 away to bring up Jaden Wiebe. Trying to extend this inning, try and score another run. 6-1 ball game. I do want to go back to the Gordon hit, because where that ball, how the ball was hit to begin with, it would have been really easy for Lincoln Keenels just to jog home thinking it was going to drop in for a base hit, but he could see, too, that as it kept carrying, as Wiebe will miss or take ball 1 that misses outside. He stayed at third base because he knew if it does drop, he's going to score no matter what. He didn't want to get caught off the base and had to go back and tag, and didn't score if it was going to be caught, as Wiebe will swing and miss, and it's now 1-1. It's a good heads-up base running there from Lincoln Keenels, because as soon as that ball was hit by Gordon, I thought there was no chance it was just going to drop into shallow left field. Wiebe pops up the 1-1 pitch on the right side. The first baseman and Bo will make the catch, and that will retire the side here in the bottom of the first. 1 run scores on 3 hits in the inning, no errors, and 2 men left on base. Post State does do a little bit of damage into that 6-0 lead. It's now 6-1 as we head to the top of the second. Back in a minute, you're listening to Post State Baseball on today's KCCR and today's KCCR.com.
Are you driving a 2014 or newer vehicle? Are there less than 100,000 miles on it? Gateway Ford Lincoln Toyota in Pierre is prepared to give you top dollar. Again, if your ride is 2014 or newer with less than 100,000 miles, Gateway Ford Lincoln Toyota will give you top dollar for it right now. Trade it in or sell it to us. Doesn't matter. Your vehicle has never been worth more than it is right now. Stop in at 518 East Sioux Avenue in Pierre. Call 605-224-7378 and visit gatewayflt.com.
Overhead Door Company of Pierre is a locally owned business specializing in the sale, service, and installation of residential and commercial garage doors. They provide quality, dependable products with constant service and the peace of mind you need. Overhead Door is one of the most recognized and most respected brand in the garage door industry. For installation and repairs, call Overhead Door Company today at 224-6200. That's 224-6200.
As we welcome you back here to the top of the second inning, a 6-1 lead for Sioux Falls East, as it will be 4, 5, and 6 for the Sioux Falls East. Sprinkle, Bow, and Beck to lead things off. And anybody reaches base, it'll be Miles Reese and Matt Hansen trying to get a much better start in this top of the second against Sioux Falls East.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I mean, what you're really looking for right now is just, again, you're really hoping for Matt Hansen to get into a couple of really quick innings right here, and that's I know what Brian White and Nathan Nas are really looking for is a couple of single-digit pitch innings out of the rising senior.
Here's the 1-0 pitch. That one is at the letters, and the count is now even at a ball and a strike to Sprinkle, who singled home a run. He singled home the first run of the 6 that score in the top of the first. Here's a 1-1 pitch from Hansen to Sprinkle. That one will bounce in. It's now 2-1.
1 o'clock start time today. Kind of a little bit of a different start time for a Sunday afternoon, but the 8s have to be off the field before I think the Trappers have a 7 o'clock game tonight, if I'm correct.
Triple header here at Hyde Stadium today with doubleheader of Post State and then a game for the Trappers against Sioux Falls. The Sunfish, as it counts now 3-1. They lost the game in Sioux Falls, the one game set that they're in Sioux Falls Friday, and then they came here to play Sioux Falls last night and won that game, and now playing here tonight and tomorrow night, and then go back to Sioux Falls after a day off for another 2 games. If you're trying to sit there and count on your fingers what in the world's going on, you're not alone. Count is now 2-2.
The intricacies of collegiate summer baseball.
Matt Hansen will deliver the 2-2 pitch to Sprinkle. That one will bounce in. Actually, the count was 3-2, so there's a leadoff walk issued to Sprinkle. And leadoff man on base, which is different than what we saw in the first inning. The leadoff man was retired to open up the top of the first. They still scored those 6 runs, did Sioux Falls East. Maybe a reversal of fortune here at getting the leadoff man. Maybe they don't want to have the leadoff man on base. See if Post State can get out of this top of the second without a run, keep it at 6-1. Bo is up to the plate. He had an RBI single in his last at-bat. First pitch will get away from Hankel and get to the backstop, and to second base will go Sprinkle. The count's now 1-0 to Jackson Bowe.
At some point today, I'd like to see Hinkle get Sprinkle.
Yeah, well, hey, if he tries to steal second, Hinkle could throw him out, and Hinkle got Sprinkle. This time Sprinkle got, well, I guess he didn't really get Hinkle, but here's the 1-0 pitch. That one's upstairs, and the count's now 2-0. You saw Brecken Kruger warming up in the bullpen in the top of the first inning. He's a guy that won't be with the team every single game, but will be here every once in a while, as that one's flown out to left center field. Going the other way is Jackson Bowe, and that's going to get out for a home run, an opposite field home run for Jackson Bowe, and it's an 8-0 lead for 8-1 lead for Sioux Falls East.
Yeah, and again, just we talked about how the wind is probably going to carry some balls today, and that's exactly what happened there. When that ball first went up, I first thought that Spencer Lettler might have a chance at tracking that one down in left center field, and then the more the ball flew, the more you realized that he probably wasn't going to get to it, and then after just a couple more seconds, the ball ends up going over the top of the Governor's Inn sign over in left center field, just not too far to the left of the 383 sign. So, well hit ball from Jackson Bowe, and East goes up 8-1 here in the top of the second.
First pitch swinging by Aiden Beck, and he'll foul that one out of play, and it's 0-1. Well, you don't see that very often. Guys going the other way to hit home runs, especially in high school baseball. But you are seeing that a lot more in throughout college and Major League Baseball, as the 0-1 is upstairs and it's now 1-1.
I think some of that's reflective of the fact that, especially here at the Legion level, they're dealing with these BB Core bats, which were the bats that came into the game several years ago that act more like a wood bat. I mean, they're springier than an actual wood bat, but they don't give you quite the velocity that the older model metal bats did. I mean, in some of those older metal bats, I mean, you could hit a ball off the fist and almost hit it 400 feet if you were strong enough.
Here's a 2-2 pitch. There's a swing and a miss on the first strikeout for Matt Hansen. There's one down here in the top of the second to bring up Miles Reese. Yeah, those BESR bats that they had back in the day. It was especially watching the College World Series with those BESR bats. It was home run derby. I mean, it was dangerous to be a pitcher in college back when those BESR bats were still allowed to be a thing. And you're still seeing a lot of home runs now with those BB Core bats, but the launch angle, of course, is kind of taking place, so you're not seeing line drives be hit out of the ballpark like they used to be too, and probably won't see that as much with those BB Core bats. As the 2-0 pitch is a swing and a miss by Miles Reese, who had an RBI single back in the top of the first, and the count's now 2-1. That was I saw a video, I think, last year on Twitter that one just got high, and it's now 3-1. But you could hear the ping of those. The ping of the BESR bat is something completely different than what the BB Core bats have. I mean, it sounded metal. Like there was no deadening of a ball at all, as that one is missed, and it's a one-out walk issue to Reese, and it'll bring up Gage Sharping.
Yeah, there was a definitive sound to those older model metal bats, and yeah, I remember seeing some games from back in the 90s and first and the aughts in this century, that you just see some of these kids. I remember, I think it was a kid from LSU, can't even tell you what his name was, but literally hit a ball off the fists and hit it to a left-handed hitter. He hit the ball to right field and hit it about 380 feet. I mean, and again, just talks to the strength, but just how springy those old style metal bats were.
They had a lot of pop to them. 2-0 pitch. That one is a swing and a miss, one off of the glove of Hinkle. Well, they were saying it's going to be a foul ball because taking second was Reese, but it is going to be called a foul ball, and the count's now at 2 balls and a strike to Gage Sharping, who walked and brought in an RBI with that walk. As the lead is 8-1 here for Sioux Falls East here in the top of the second. Here's a 2-1 pitch to Sharping. Outside, and it's now 3-1. Bo hit that home run to the opposite field, and a phrase that I can't get around with is Apo Taco. I'm just not a fan of that phrase. I would not. I don't know what the fascination is. That one's popped up right side. Jaden Wiebe, the second baseman, at the edge of the infield. Dirt will make the catch, and there's now 2 down, and that'll bring up Nate Olson. Do you like that phrase, Oppo Taco?
Not really.
Yeah.
Not unless there's an actual taco in front of me.
Well, I mean,
then maybe I get a little different view on it.
But the opposite of taco is the shell's on the inside and the meat's all the way around it, which wouldn't be nearly the same as a normal taco.
Well, that's true, but food is food. I'm not going to get too fussy.
First pitch was over for strike one. Here's the 0-1 pitch. There's a ground ball up the middle, fielded by the shortstop Keenels. He'll step on the bag at second, and that will end the inning here in the top of the second. 2 more runs score on the big home run by Jackson Bowe, the only hit in the inning. No errors and 1 man left on base. It's now an 8-1 lead for Sioux Falls East here as we head to the bottom of the second between East and Pierre. You're listening to Post 8 Baseball on today's KCCR and today's KCCR.com.
Wondering what to do with the pitted and rutted drive? B&B Equipment will get you covered. Wanting to put something down the ground? B&B Equipment will put a hole in your project. Need to even up that property? B&B Equipment can fill that need. B&B Equipment can deliver all your gravel and material needs. B&B Equipment is here for all your excavation needs. Contact B&B Equipment, 224-6727. A contractor here for you. That's B&B Equipment, 224-6727.
Innovation. It's right here. Avera St. Mary's Hospital keeps care local for you and your family, offering comprehensive care that has earned 4 out of 5 stars by the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services in hospital performance and safety. Avera St. Mary's world-class care is further supported by advanced technology, 2-way video e-consults, 3D mammography, and a state-of-the-art birthing center, so you and your family don't have to go anywhere else, because innovation lives right here in Pierre. Learn more at avera.org/news.
As we welcome you back, it is the bottom of the second inning, an 8-1 lead, as it will be 7-8-9 for Post State. Brady Getz, Jack Merkwan, and Isaac Pollock to be the first 3 hitters here in the bottom of the second inning, as the Eights trail by 7 after the 2-run homer from Jackson Bowe to increase their lead. First pitch to Getz. It's taken for ball 1. Getz so far, he is still looking for that first hit. 0 for 2 officially in the first 4 games of the year. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Cued off the end of the bat and having to dance away from him as Merkwan is thinking it went off of him even after it went. As he turned to watch it hit the bricks and then came back and hit him. As the count's now 1-1. Thankfully it was not hit very hard. Here's a 1-1 pitch, and Getz will chop it over the mound. It'll be a tough play for the shortstop Reese. Comes in on the run and throws out Getz to retire him to open up the bottom of the second. Good play there from the shortstop Reese.
Yeah, he had to come in a long way and made a nice play. Made the throw on the run. Probably could have stopped and set his feet, but made a nice strong throw across the diamond of Jackson Bowe at first base, and Sioux Falls East has the first out of the inning recorded.
Here's now Jack Merkwan. First pitch to him is missed outside for ball 1. Merkwan hitting an 091 right now, just 1 hit in his 11 at-bats. Here's the 1-0 pitch. One's outside, and it's now 2-0. I don't think that batting average stayed down there very long for Jack Merkwan. He's had a good spring for the Governors. You assume the same here for Post State at some point. That one's grounded to the first baseman. It'll be fielded by Bowe. Step on the bag, and there's now 2 down here in the bottom of the second inning, and that'll bring up Isaac Pollock.
Just kind of a cue ball off the end of the bat. Didn't have sometimes those balls that go the other way coming off the end of the bat can have some kind of crazy spin on it. That one looked like it just stayed down, and he was able Bowe was able to just pick the ball up, run over a couple steps, and put his foot on the bag, and the Eights have 2 outs now with nobody on here in the bottom of the second.
Isaac Pollock will step to the plate. Batting .250 so far, just 1 for 4. He has 2 runs driven in, but he bats with nobody on base here in the bottom of the second. First pitch will skip in for ball 1. 9th man in the order for Post State. This is the first time through. Grant Graber is the leadoff man for Sioux Falls East. He'll start the 3rd time through for Post 15 East, as that one is taken for a strike, and the count's now 1-1. He had 12 guys come to the plate in that first inning, and the 6-run output by East. Here's the 1-1 pitch. outside edge, and the count's now 1-2 here to Pollock. He threw well on Thursday in that Game 2 win against Brookings. Here's the 1-2 pitch on the outside edge and taken for strike 3, and there's a second strikeout of the ball game for Boyum, and that will retire the side. A 1-2-3 second inning for Tyler Boyum. And we head to the top of the third, 8-1 lead for Sioux Falls East. You're listening to Post-8 Baseball. Today is KCCR, and today is KCCR.com.
Your home and business are important to you, and you need quality furnace and air conditioning products and service. With a combined 50-plus years of experience, AirTech Heating and Cooling provides you with just that service. Call 945-0160 for sales, service, and installation of furnaces, air conditioning, and heat pumps. AirTech Heating and Cooling features the American Standard products. Sales, installation, and service. You want the best, and that's what you'll find at AirTech Heating and Cooling in Pierre.
Most of us already know that Gales Gas of Pierre is the place to call for propane. They offer an automatic fill plan so you never have to worry about running out of propane. They accept debit and credit payments or a budget payment plan to spread out the cost throughout the year so you never have surprises when you get your bill. For delivery, convenience, and great customer service, call Gales Gas at 224-5518. That's Gales Gas at 224-5518.
As we welcome you back, top of the third inning, as it will be the top of the order. Grant Graber ties Schaefer and Garen Heinert. He might reach his base. It'll be Nate Sprinkle. As we are in the top of the third inning, Hansen continues to be on the mound for the Eights, trying to get his first zero this ball game. As 8 runs on 5 hits so far for Sioux Falls East. 1 run on 3 hits for the Eights. Graber is 0 for 1 as he'll come to the plate. Was hit by a pitch that brought in another run back in the top of the first inning. As he grounded out to open up the ball game to the third baseman, Gordon, and then 6 runs came in to score. As there's a bounce here to open up the top of the third, and it's 1-0. If they were, if we're playing cricket style, that'd be a strike. It bounced right down the middle.
Yeah.
No wickets though. Here's the 1-0 pitch. That one is taken for a strike. There's a true strike.
Strike in baseball would not have been there in cricket.
See, I don't know about that. I have no, I know you swing with a little wicket. I think that's what it is. I don't know much about cricket. 1-1 pitch. That one's lined foul, which that would be a fair ball in cricket, I think. I think cricket, you can have everybody all over the place. I mean, you have fielders behind the batter or hitter. I don't know if they call him a batter. Counts now 1-2. I don't know much about the game of cricket.
Everything's fair in cricket. There is no foul territory, and so I don't know much about it either, but it's I know it takes a long time to play.
Here's the 1-2 pitch. That one's taken for strike 3, and there's the second strikeout of the ball game for Matt Hansen. And the leadoff man retired here. Open up the top of the third and bring up Ty Schaefer, who's 1 for 2.
Third baseman number 4, Ty Schaefer.
And don't those games take
days?
Days.
I mean, yeah, literally. I mean, they'll take days. 3 or 4 days. I mean, batters will bat for an extended period of time. I can't even tell you how long. I mean, they'll score. One batter could be responsible for 100, 150 runs. I mean, run is just down and back. It's crazy game.
It counts quickly 0-2 here to Schaefer. Here's the 0-2 pitch, and Schaefer will pop that one up foul. Gets trying to chase after it, and he's not going to get there in time as it takes one hop and bounces over. And the count remains at 0-2.
And we think in America that a 3-hour baseball game is dull and boring. I can't imagine what a lot of Americans would say about watching a 3-day cricket match.
Well, and that's the as that one's grounded. Gordon will come up in front of the shortstop Keenels. The throw is a little high, but Getz is able to get that left foot up and keep the right foot down. And there's now 2 down. No hokey pokey. There's 2 away. And start singing a song and get copyrighted.
Yeah, nice play by Andy Gordon to range to his left and glove the ball and then make the throw on the move and nice athletic play by Brady Getz to go up the ladder and go get the ball and still keep his foot on the base and so Matt Hansen Matt Hansen just one batter away from potentially having his first 1-2-3 inning of the day.
First pitch was taken for ball one to Garen Heinert. That one will bounce in. The count's now 2-0. Heinert is 0 for 1. He walked and then came around, or then he also grounded out to end the top of the first. And he did come around to score in his first trip to the plate in the top of the first. Here's the 2-0 pitch. That one is at the letters, and the count's now at 2-1.
And Hansen just looks a little more comfortable here in the third inning. Looks like he's, even though he's facing the top half of the Sioux Falls East order, looks like he's just a little more comfortable on the mound this inning.
And he will walk off the field as Lincoln Keenels will make the catch. He was at right around the foul line on the first base side as Lincoln Keenels made that grab to end the inning, and he does get that 1-2-3 inning. He knew his shortstop was going to have it. No runs, no hits, no errors, no one left on base. We have the bottom of the third, 8-1 lead for Sioux Falls East over Pierre. You're listening to Post-8 Baseball on today's KCCR and today's KCCR.com.
No one likes to have electrical problems, but when they happen, call Todd's Electric at 223-2518. With over 28 years of experience, Todd's Electric can handle any type of electrical problem, whether it's residential, commercial, or agricultural. Their knowledgeable staff knows and understands the importance of your home, business, or ag facility and are prepared to help. Call Todd's Electric at 223-2518. That's 223-2518. Todd's Electric, serving the Pierre and Fort Pierre areas. The line to power.
When something just isn't right, it's natural to talk about it. If you had a toothache, you'd tell someone. If you found out you had diabetes, you'd learn to take care of it. But when you're feeling stressed, sad, or worried, you're less likely to tell someone. Why do we treat physical and mental health so differently? There is no difference. We all need someone to talk to, and there's nothing shameful about wanting to be healthy for you. When you just need someone to talk to, contact Rising Hope Counseling at 494-1500 or risinghope605.com. Rising Hope Counseling, offering hope, healing, and change. Rising Hope Counseling, because if you have hope, you have everything.
As we welcome you back here to Hyde Stadium, bottom of the third inning, it's the top of the order now. This time for the Post-8, as it'll be Lincoln Keenels, Cade Hinkle, and Andy Gordon. It'll be Link, Hink, and Gordon, followed by Dean if anyone reaches base. Top of the order got the lone run of the game so far for the Eights back in the bottom of the first. They trail 8-1 here in the bottom of the third. Tyler Boyham's working from the stretch to open up this third inning. First pitch is fouled out of play, and it's 0-1.
And again, just now that they've got a 0 on the board, what the Eights need to do is just come back and just try to peck away. See if they can get a couple this inning. Try to close this gap from 8-1 down to, you'd like to see it go 8-2, 8-3, 8-4, something like that.
It counts now 1-1 as that one missed low and away. It's only the bottom of the third inning. There's still a lot of baseball, over half the baseball game left to be played. You don't got to score all 7 runs in this bottom of the third, as you alluded to, Greg, that you score 1 or 2 or 3 runs this inning, and all of a sudden the lead's been cut in half. You're down by 4. Well, you get another 2 runs in the fourth. You got to get zeros. You got to make sure you get zeros on the scoreboard on the other side, as that one's grounded left side, backhanded by the shortstop Reese. So the throw to first will retire Keenels to lead off the bottom of the third. But if you get those zeros in the top half of the inning and you come back and score 1, maybe 2 runs, all of a sudden you put yourself in a spot to be able to win this ball game still. It's not out of the question that Post-8 can't come back. There's still a lot of time left in this ball game.
Yeah, and that's the thing is you just need to keep putting zeros up on the Sioux Falls East line, and just at least get it back to within that one swing of the bat. If you can get it back to within 8-4 at some point before Post-8 comes to bat in the bottom of the 7th, you at least give yourself put yourself in a position where you can at least extend the game with one swing of the bat.
1-0 pitch is popped up on the left side. The third baseman and Schaefer trying to reach across, and ball dropped behind the dugout. But 8 for effort for Schaefer.
Yep, ball just landed right behind the Sioux Falls East dugout. Schaefer leaned over the railing, but barring the late implementation of a go-go gadget arm that would have extended his glove hand by about 15 feet, he was not going to make that play.
1-1 pitch is upstairs, and it's now 2-1. I tell you what, every time I had a chance to climb a fence, even if I was nowhere close, I was climbing that fence, because you never know what might happen. 2-1 pitch. That one's lined into right center field for a base hit. And Hinkle is now 1 for 2. And there's 1 on and 1 out here in this third inning. You give yourself a chance. If you climb the fence or lean over, you never know what might happen. But if you don't give the effort, there's no chance that you're going to make the catch.
Yeah, and this is a little bit of a different park. I mean, to try and make a play. I mean, you really with wooden fence all the way around, from the dugouts all the way around, except for the block on the retaining wall that goes up the right field line from the post 8 dugout on the first base side. The wood fence generally about 8 feet tall, 6 to 8 feet all the way around. So it's a little bit of an effort to try to get over the top of this fence here at Historic Heights Stadium.
1-0 pitch to Gordon is on the outside edge. It's 1-1. Gordon singled home. Keenel's back in the bottom of the first. He is 1 for 1. He got that poke out in the left field. Here comes now the 1-1 pitch. And Gordon will go the other way out towards right, and Heinert is underneath it. He'll make the catch, and 2 away to bring up Bennett Dean. Dean singled in his trip to the plate. Popped it right over a high pop-up over the head of the shortstop, Reese. He couldn't make that jumping grab, and the left fielder, Olsen, couldn't come in time to make the catch. So he's looking to go 2 for 2. And, of course, with Hinkle on at first base, as that first pitch is in the dirt, and it's going to be Hinkle taking second, and now he's in scoring position with a 1-0 count. Here for Dean to try and drive in a run to maybe make it an 8-2 ball game. We saw him barrel up quite a few balls in the springtime, as that one's grounded foul, and it's now 1-1. Coach Nathan Nas, little effort over there. put the hand down like he was going to go, but he didn't bend down to try and go get it. It just kept rolling through.
Yeah, that's the kind of deal where if one of the players gives that kind of effort, he probably would have something to say about it. So,
but for him, that's
all right.
Yeah,
when you're a coach, you've earned the right to just watch stuff go by.
Here's a 1-1 pitch, swing and a miss. Is going to get to the backstop. Hinkle will head to third, and it's now 1-2 to Dean, and he's got to find a way to get a base hit to make this an 8-2 ball game. On deck is Spencer Lettler. But 2 down here in the bottom of the third.
Yeah, you don't want to leave a runner on third, especially when you're down 8-1 like this.
Here's the 1-2 pitch. That one comes inside. It goes off of the catcher's mitt, and scoring will be Hinkle, and it's now 8-2. As that one got away from Boyum, Hinkle went all the way around the bases without the ball. The ball was put into play, but it was a fly out to right field. But he got to second, third, and home, all within wild pitches. And so it's now an 8-2 lead for Sioux Falls East. There's your one run that at least we're able to get something on the board here in the bottom of the third.
Yeah, and the Eights kind of stole a run there. We'll see if that comes back into play, if the Eights can tighten things up and make things tight here. If they can tighten things up here later in this game.
Dean will strike out swinging to end the third inning. 1 run scores on 1 hit, no errors, and no one left on base. We head to the top of the 4th inning. It is an 8-2 lead for Sioux Falls East over Pierre Post State. You're listening to Post State Baseball on today's KCCR and today's KCCR.com.
Hey, it's Julia from Milwaukee Federal Credit Union, letting you know that our recreational special is back again, with terms up to 10 years, no payments for 90 days, and rates as low as 2.4% APR. Apply online or stop in at 221 East Pleasant Drive in Pierre and let Jameson or I get you started.
People helping people. Hawaii Federal Credit Union.
Pierre Sports Center is your local Ranger Boat and Mercury Outboard dealer. They're a must-see for your Ranger boat needs. See their selection of Mercury outboard motors for more power. Pierre Sports Center can help you with financing and other boating needs. Need service for your boat or trailer to keep you going? Pierre Sports Center is your one-stop shop. Pierre Sports Center, Ranger Boats, and Mercury Outboard. A combination that can't be beat. Pierre Sports Center, 1440 North Garfield Avenue in Pierre. Or give them a call, 224-5546.
As we welcome you back here to Heights Stadium, Andy Gordon is going to be on the mound. We're going to see him throw here for the first time this season. And as we get the research department, which is Rick Gordon, his dad, telling us it's been a couple of years since Andy's pitched. It might be the only time we see him pitch this year. I don't know. Maybe we'll see him a little bit more. It's a good scouting opportunity for Coach Brian White and Coach Nathan Nas to see how much they might want to use Gordon over this summer. But we can officially say we got a position player pitching, Greg.
Yep, position player alert. We'll see how this works out. But again, something that you're looking for here in the top of the fourth inning right here is just, how do the Eights respond in the face of a little bit of adversity? I mean, again, you're a little bit on the shortened roster due to some injuries and some other things coming into play, and then pitch count has taken a couple of other arms out of play today, and so we'll see how Andy Gordon responds with his first outing on the mound in some time.
First pitch is over for strike one. Yeah, the scouting report for Gordon, there isn't one. Here's the 0-1 pitch. That one's outside. It's not 1-1. We can't even go back to last year or the year before to see what his pitching stats were at. I think this was he might have pitched before Game Changer. Might have been the last time that he threw. Here's the 1-1 pitch. That was outside. It's 2-1. But this, a chance. And yes, it's only a 6-run game, and I don't. This is not a concession to say, hey, we're not going to win this ball game. Let's just going to throw Andy out there. But because Andy Gordon doesn't pitch a whole lot, it might liven up the dugout a little bit, saying, hey, we don't see Andy Gordon pitch. We don't get to see him throw. So let's see what he can do. And if he gets a 0 and it could really boost a lot of the dugout. It's a swing and a miss, and it's now 3-2.
And again, this is one of those circumstances that you run into in the summer, where, especially now with the advent of the pitch count rules, basically everybody on the roster becomes a pitcher at some point during the year.
3-2 pitch, and Sprinkle will foul that one away. It might have been a little bit high, but he offers at it, fouls it out of play on the left side, and we'll do it again at 3-2. He has been on base both times. He had an RBI single back in the first. He walked to lead off the top of the second. He came around to score the 2-run homer from Jackson Bowe, who is on deck. Here's now the 3-2 pitch again. That one misses well upstairs, and it's a leadoff walk issued by Gordon.
We'll go through Matt Hansen's pitching line for the day as the books closed on him for the rising senior. He goes 3 innings, gives up 5 hits, 8 runs, all of them earned, 6 walks, 2 strikeouts, pair of wild pitches, and a hit batter for Matt Hansen. 86 pitches on the day, 41 of them for strikes to the 21 batters that he faced on the day.
Jackson Bowe will ground the first pitch left side to be fielded by Keenholz. A tough throw on the run, makes the throw, and there's one down. As Jaden Wiebe is now playing third base, Matt Hansen's over at second, and Keenholz is able to come over in the hole, make the play, and on the run, throw out Jackson Bowe. Runner does advance to second, but there's one down here now in the top of the fourth.
Yeah, and again, you can just kind of see Lincoln Keenholz just, every game he plays over at shortstop just gets a little more comfortable. I mean, he played a lot of third base last year with Garrett Stout manning that shortstop position. So he did move over a little bit at different times when Stout was on the mound last summer, but you can just see Keenholz, especially defensively, is growing into that position this year, and he's just going to be a good one over time.
The 0-1 pitch to Aiden Beck is bouncing in, and Cade Hinkle makes a nice stop with Gordon throwing here for this first game, top of the fourth inning. 8-2 lead for Sioux Falls East. They opened up with a 6-run top of the first, a 2-run home run by Jackson Bowe in the second. That's their 8 runs. The 1-1 pitch is a check swing, and the umpire says he did not go, and the count's now 2-1. Aiden Beck is the man on deck. The 2-1 count Gordon throwing for the first time this year. He'll work from the stretch. 2-1 pitch. That one's taken for a strike, and the count's now at 2-2.
You know, and Cade Hinkle does a nice job. Again, he's blocked a lot of balls today. He's had a couple skip past him, but he's done a nice job in terms of keeping a lot of balls in play.
That was lined down the first base line into right field, but it lands foul, just foul, and the count remains at 2-2. Otherwise, it was a 9-2 ball game. A new life here for Gordon with a 2-2 count with Aiden Beck to the plate. Gordon's he does everything. He does a little bit of everything. Was the emergency goalie for the Capitals. He's now a position player pitching for the Eights.
A lot of corner infield. Likely the backup catcher. We've not seen a second catcher so far this year. Cade Hinkle has caught all 5 games so far for the Eights, but Gordon settled into the role actually from about the first, second week of May on in the high school season. Kind of settled into the role as the starting catcher. Shared some duties over the first month of the season with Deegan Huska, but kind of settled into the role as the starting catcher over time. So just what you'd see out of a really, really good quality athlete.
2-2 pitch is upstairs, and the count is now at 3-2. Here to Aiden Beck. Again, on deck is Miles Reese, who's been on base both times he's got on the plate. 3-2 pitch. That one's popped up on the left side. Wiebe will give a long chase. Is he going to run out of room? And it will land just foul. He could have stepped through out of the play right there. No, it would not have counted, but he was right next to that spot where the open spot is here at Hyde Stadium. Would have been interesting if he would have made his way out there to make the catch. It obviously would not have counted, but it would have been pretty funny.
Yeah, there's about an 8-foot opening in the wood fence just down the line from the Sioux Falls East dugout.
As that one is grounded or is a line into left field for a base hit, that will skip away a little bit from Lettler, allowing the runner Beck to take second. Run comes in to score, and it's now a 9-2 lead here for Sioux Falls East on the RBI double for Aiden Beck.
Yeah, and credit to Beck. Never broke stride from the time he left the box. A ball that was hit and pulled Spencer Lettler all the way into foul territory, and so Beck never broke stride. Knew that it was, as Lettler's the left-hander, going away from his throwing arm. He knew it was going to be a tough throw for Lettler to try to make a throw to second base, and Beck goes in standing up into second base with a stand-up double.
First pitch misses inside to Miles Reese. 9-2 lead here for Sioux Falls East. You're listening to KCCR Pierre, a Riverfront Broadcasting Station. 9-2 here in the top of the fourth. Runner on second with one down. The 1-0 pitch. That one is skied out to left field. Lettler going back, still going back. He'll turn and hits the bottom of the wall. And Lettler then trips in the warning track. Another run comes in to score. It's going to be another RBI double. And it's now a 10-2 lead.
Yeah, and again, a ball that, in all honesty, when it went up, I didn't know that it was hit all that well, but got up in this wind and hit the base of the wall, and now I think we talked about earlier Spencer Lettler dealing with a bit of a shoulder issue, and he did take a tumble out there and was not able to. I wonder if he tweaked the shoulder again when he tumbled as he retrieved that ball and threw it back in, and he just immediately comes into the dugout. So unfortunate turn of events, and the injury bug continues to plague the Eights. We already have Aaron Booth out for at least a couple of more weeks dealing with an arm issue, and so the Eights roster just gets probably going to get a little more thinner. That's really unfortunate.
Yeah, so Brecken Kruger now in to play left field for the Eights as the first pitch is fouled away by Gage Sharping. Again, he's splitting time with both senior and junior legion this year. First chance to have Kruger in the lineup card. He was going to play right field to begin the game number 2. Would assume that's probably going to be the same thing again, but now he's in at game 1 as it's 0-1 pitch is fouled back by Sharping, and the count's now at 0-2.
And the other thing it does is it leaves the Eights with only one available bench player after Bennett Dean has exited the game, started the game as the DH, and then with the shift defensively, now only leaves them with Gary Nedved as the only available player off the bench to come in and potentially fill a role if somebody else has to come out of the game.
Here's the 1-2 pitch. That one's taken for strike 3, and there's the first strikeout here for Andy Gordon. And there's 2 away here in the top of the 4th, and a 10-2 lead for Sioux Falls East as it'll bring up the number 9 hitter, Nate Olson.
We got some action down in the Sioux Falls East bullpen. I believe that's Andrew Evenson, the right-hander. I believe he was a pitcher that threw against the Governors back when Sioux Falls, Washington came in and played here back in early May.
Here's the 1-0 pitch. That one is knocked foul at the plate, and the count's now 1-1. Yeah, he's did not throw, though, against Watertown on Wednesday. But you're looking at 7 guys that threw for Sioux Falls East, and you've had one guy start, another guy warming up that didn't throw it. 9 solid pitchers for the Sioux Falls East, and Greg, you mentioned it too. Even if you're not a pitcher, in the summertime, you turn into a pitcher at some point. As the count's now 2-1 to Nate Olson.
And you have to go look at Sioux Falls East's schedule, but Tyler Boyum, 46 pitches, so he's gone over the mark. He will now need 2 days rest, but I assume that the Evenson move down in the bullpen is a move to try to keep Boyum available for sometime later this week.
That one's lined up the middle for a base hit. Merkwan will field out in center field, but the run's going to come in to score. And it's now a 11-2 lead on the RBI single by Nate Olson. And that'll bring up the top of the order and Grant Graber. So here we are in the top of the 4th inning, and Sioux Falls East up by 9. Game cannot end the 4th. They have to go at least into the 5th inning. But it's now getting in danger of potential a 10-run rule. Here's the first pitch to Graber. That's grounded foul on the left field side. And it's 0-1. And Greg mentioned it, too, that Gary Nedved, the lone man on the bench, Aaron Booth was put on the lineup card, but I think the only thing that he would be able to do right now would be able to go run, if anything. He has the 0-1 pitch. It's fouled the third base dugout, and the count's now 0-2. Graber's been ahead of both pitches. And Nedved, the lone man that's available here for Post 8. After Lettler goes down with an injury, Dean has been taken out. They would have been down one or the other with Hansen or Dean coming out of the ball game when Andy Gordon went to the mound. Here's the now 0-2 pitch. Just a bit outside, and it's 1-2.
Sioux Falls East has 8 games coming up in the next 7 days. Heavy schedule like Pierre Post 8 does. Second game today here at Hyde Stadium. Then they have a single game against Sioux Falls West on Tuesday, a doubleheader at Brandon on Wednesday, and then looks like they're in a weekend tournament down in Yankton. A pair of games against teams out of Nebraska, Norfolk and Blair, Nebraska on Friday, a game against Omaha South and Yankton on Saturday, and then in all likelihood some kind of championship round game on Sunday.
Swing and a miss by Graber. That retires the side. Another 3 runs come in to score. That is on 3 hits, no errors, and 1 man left on base. We headed to the bottom of the 4th. It is a 11-2 lead here for Sioux Falls East. You're listening to Post 8 Baseball on today's KCCR and today's KCCR.com.
When you want the best prices and best selection, go to Wegner Auto in Pierre. The certified sales staff at Wegner Auto will provide you service after the sale and how to get easy financing. Check out their website, WegnerAuto.com, or stop in. They have the best prices and won't be undersold. Wegner Auto has the region's largest selection with over 280 new and quality pre-owned vehicles. GM certified pre-owned vehicles give you peace of mind with their 12-month or 12,000-mile bumper-to-bumper warranty and 5-year or 100,000-mile powertrain warranty. Log on to WegnerAuto.com or stop by Wegner Auto in Pierre, South Dakota's oldest auto dealer since 1907.
Evermore Boutique, where fashion doesn't have to break the bank. See them for men's, women's, and children's clothing, shoes, accessories, and so much more. Open 7 days a week, Monday through Friday from noon to 7, Saturdays from 11 to 6, and Sundays from noon to 5. Visit Evermore Boutique, located at 104 South Pierre Street in Pierre, or give them a call today, 605-494-0194. That's Evermore Boutique in Pierre.
As we head to the bottom of the fourth inning, it is going to be 5, 6, and 7 here for Post State, as it'll be Brecken Kruger to lead things off. He comes in the ball game and quickly is now leading things off here in the bottom of the fourth. It'll be then Jaden Wiebe and Brady Getz. 5, 6, and 7 here for Post State, down 11-2 here in the bottom of the fourth. John Wickler alongside Greg Dean, as a little bit of a pause before we get the bottom of the fourth underway. Kruger's the first official at-bat of Senior Legion. Here's the first pitch. Kruger swings and misses in his own one.
Kruger manning the outfield, one of the corner outfield spots on a part-time basis for the high school team during the spring season. Had a nice spring season as a sophomore, and so I think both Coach Steve Gray on the high school side and Brian White on the Post State side looking for some big things out of Kruger going forward over the next couple of years.
1-1 pitch. Kruger will fly this out to left field, going all the way back towards the track, and Olsen will make the catch. The leadoff man is retired, and Kruger to open up the bottom of the fourth inning.
Again, a fly ball that just got up in the wind, and again, the Sioux Falls East outfield playing, especially the left fielder Olsen, he's playing fairly deep. I mean, he's only about half a dozen steps from the warning track, so he's playing this wind and saying, I'll give up just about anything in front of me, and I'm going to get everything behind me.
Backhanded on a ground ball, the shortstop, the throw was in the dirt, and Bo was able to scoop it up. And a really good play from Miles Reese to retire Jaden Wiebe on the first pitch of the at-bat. And there's now 2 down here in the bottom of the fourth.
Yeah, we've seen a couple of nice plays from Reese over at shortstop for Sioux Falls East. He's done a nice job, made a couple of nice pickups and a couple of nice throws on the move.
Now here is Brady Getz. First pitch to him is taken for strike one. He is 0 for 1. He grounded out to the shortstop in his first at-bat to lead off the bottom of the second. Here's the 0-1 pitch. And one will miss outside and gets to the backstop, and the count's now a ball and a strike. 11-2 is our score here in the top of the fourth inning. Excuse me, bottom of the fourth inning. The top of the fourth is where Sioux Falls East was able to make it a 9-run lead, as Getz will get his first base hit of the season as he lines that into center field for a 2-out single to extend it to Jack Merkwan.
We talked about the injury bug. I mean, there's we talked about Brecken Kruger being dual rostered for Post State for the Senior Legion and the Junior Legion. One of the other dual roster kids, Christian Bush, also dealing with some injury issues that probably have taken him out of the lineup for this baseball season. Hopefully he's going to be back in time for the football season. So
1-0 pitch to Merkwan. He'll foul that one out of play, and it's now 1-1.
That ball was headed right your direction. It was right on line. Just Merkwan hit it a little too strong.
Yeah. Come on, Merkwan.
Don't be such a big, strong kid.
Yeah, right. What are you doing lifting weights? Here's a 1-1 pitch. That will bounce to get into the dirt and away from the catcher Beck, and taking second is going to be Getz. And there's now a runner on second with a 2-1 count. And Merkwan can drive in that run as they trail by 9 right now here in the bottom of the fourth. I did have a quick little hitch in my...
I saw you flinch.
Yeah, I flinched thinking maybe this was the time, but not yet. 2-1 pitch is chopped to the plate. Backhanded by the pitcher. Boy, I mean, he throws it a little bit wide, but Bo was able to keep his foot on the bag at first and also avoid Merkwan, and that will retire the side here in the bottom of the fourth inning. So no run score, 1 hits, no errors, and 1 man left on base. We head to the top of the fifth inning. 11-2 lead here for Sioux Falls East. You listen to Post State Baseball on today's KCCR and today's KCCR.com.
Insurance. We all need it to protect our homes, health, businesses, and belongings. But having adequate coverage is just the beginning. You also need the support of professionals who stand by your side to protect what's important to you. Fisher Rounds & Associates combines the coverage you want with the commitment you need. Fisher Rounds & Associates, at your service, at your side, with offices in Pierre, Mitchell, Watertown, Sioux Falls, and Rapid City.
BankWest Insurance has the expertise and resources to deliver personalized service and customized solutions. As an independent agency, we shop dozens of companies to get you the best coverage at the best price. As your trusted choice for insurance coverage, we promise to go the extra mile so you can rest assured your loved ones and your assets are protected. Contact your local agent to put BankWest Insurance to work for you.
Not a deposit, not FDIC insured, not insured by any federal agency, not guaranteed by any bank, may go down in value, equal opportunity provider.
As we welcome you back here at Heights Stadium, top of the fifth inning. Andy Gordon on for his second inning of work. Needing to keep this a 9-run deficit right now. Ty Schaefer, Garen Heinert, and Nate Sprinkle will be the first three hitters, 2, 3, and 4 in the order for Sioux Falls East. As they have scored all but one inning so far, have gotten crooked numbers on 3 of those 4 innings. 6 in the first, 2 in the second, and 3 in the fourth. And they have that 9-run lead of Post State. Here's the first pitch to Ty Schaefer. He'll line that up the middle for a base hit. And he is on to open up the top of the fifth inning on the first pitch. He is now 2 for 4 in the ball game, and that will bring up Garen Heinert, who is 0 for 2 so far. One of the few guys without a base hit. One of just 3 guys in the order without a base hit. But he's been on base with a walk. He's been a ground out and a fly out victim so far. First pitch is inside for ball 1. We'll see if Boyum goes back out for the bottom of the fifth inning, or if they will go with Evenson. That one's fouled off of Heinert, and then the count is now at a ball and a strike.
Ball went off of Heinert's foot and down the first baseline. You could see Heinert kind of wince a little bit as he gathered himself after that foul ball.
Gordon will come set. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Runner takes off. It's going to be high to the backstop. Rounding second is Schaefer, but the ball skipped right back towards Hinkle. So the count is now at 2-1 with Schaefer picking up the stolen base. As Heinert has that runner in scoring position now. Here's a 2-1 pitch. He'll ground that one foul. Just past off the dugout netting. One of the Sioux Falls East players, he knows he's sitting with the glove on over there at third base dugout. He's prepared for any foul ball to come his way.
Up on the railing, just ready to go. Like you said, he's prepared. Not only to catch something in front of him, but if there's a line drive off the bat of Heinert, he's also there to protect his teammates back in the shade, back on the bench.
Here's the 2-2 pitch. That one will bounce. Good block by Hinkle. Kept it in front, and the count's now full at 3 balls and 2 strikes. I'll give him credit. He's smart. He knows he's thinking right now.
Mm-hmm.
And there's been a lot of ground balls that have been hit pretty hard over to the third base dugout. Here's the 3-2 pitch. That one will walk, miss, and it'll be a walk. First and second here with nobody out for Nate Sprinkle, who's been on base all 3 times he's come to the plate. RBI single back in the first, and he's walked the last 2 times he's come to the plate. He has scored all 3 times as well.
And again, you hate to say that this is a big situation, but if the Eights are looking to extend this game, Sioux Falls East is 1 run away from making this a 10-run lead, and then forcing the Eights to score 1 or more in the bottom of this inning to keep this game alive.
First pitch will miss for ball 1. Here comes the 1-0 pitch from Gordon. And Sprinkle will foul it back into the netting, and it's 1-1. Interesting to see who that Game 2 starter is. You can pretty much go anywhere but Boyum in Lounsbury for Sioux Falls East. And if Evenson would come in the ball game in the bottom of the 5th inning. 1-1 is upstairs and is now 2-1. Bennett Dean's the starter on tap for game number 2. He is not in the lineup anymore, so he's got a chance to stay in the shade and then get himself loose and ready to go. 2-1 pitch is outside, and it's now 3-1.
Yeah, Boyum 57 pitches, so he's under that 60 pitch count limit. So 2 days of rest, he would be available to pitch on Wednesday if they need him in that doubleheader against Brandon Valley. 3-1
pitch is missed, and it's now a bases loaded chance coming up for Jackson Bowe, who has already hit a home run in the ball game. 3 RBIs so far from Bowe. He's 2 for 3. The bases are loaded with nobody out. Corners will be in. Middle will stay back. Trying to find a way maybe to turn a double play, get 2 of these. Traded a run for 2 outs. First pitch and miss low for ball 1.
Likely an early morning departure for the families from Sioux Falls East. Probably had to leave the city somewhere between 8:30 this morning in order to get here for a 1 o'clock start today.
Counts now 2-0 here to Jackson Bowe. And again, here at Heights Stadium, it's a triple header of baseball with 2 post-state games and a Trappers game. 2-0 pitch. That one will miss, and the count's now 3-0.
Yeah, all 3 Pierre versus Sioux Falls. Pierre Post-8 versus Sioux Falls East in the first 2 games today, and then the Expedition League game later tonight. Pierre Trappers versus the Sioux Falls, the new Sioux Falls Sunfish, the expansion team, as the Expedition League has expanded to, I think it's 12 teams this year.
Yeah, 3 new teams, I believe it was, with also a team from Montana and Idaho. As that one is lined into right field for a base hit. 1 run will come in to score. Another run's going to try and come in to score. The throw's cut off. The throw of the plate is not in time. And it's a 2 RBI single. Now 5 RBIs in the ball game for Jackson Bowe, and the lead is 13-2 here in the top of the 5th.
And that will bring about a mound visit from Coach Nathan Nas.
As Sprinkle is able to take third on the base hit, so runners are at the corners. As it'll bring up Aiden Beck. As Coach Nathan Nas is talking with his pitcher, Andy Gordon. So in the bottom of the 5th inning, Post State will need at least 2 runs to try and keep this ball game alive. Anything that Sioux Falls East scores, Post State will have to answer those. Answer that what's on the top of the scoreboard. Right now, 2 have scored here in the top of the 5th, but there's still nobody out and runners at the corners. Aiden Beck, who had an RBI double in his last at-bat, he's 1 for 2. Here's the first pitch to him, taken for strike 1.
No errors on the board for either team. Sioux Falls East, 13 runs on 10 hits so far today. For the Eights, they've got a pair of runs on 5 hits.
The 1 pitch is fouled back, and the count's now 0-2. 9-1-2 is due up for Post State in the bottom of the 5th inning. The lone RBI is to Andy Gordon so far. Hinkle singled and took second, third, and home on 3 different wild pitches. Here's the 0-2 pitch. That one's fouled back as it goes off the umpire, and we'll do it again here at 0-2.
We said coming into this game that Sioux Falls East was going to be a quality baseball team, just from what we had seen out of the players on this roster earlier this spring. We knew that there was a lot of talent on this team top to bottom, and that's exactly what Sioux Falls East has shown so far today.
As the 0-2 pitch is upstairs, and it's now 1-2. Overall, still, though, Post State with 10 free passes issued. We've had 9 walks and then also hit batter. 1-2 pitch, taken for strike 3. And there's the first out here in the top of the 5th inning. As Beck will go down on strikes as the second strikeout here for Gordon. Both of them have, third strikeout. 2 of the 3 have gone down looking.
Not sure Beck was overly enthralled with that called third strike call from the home plate umpire. Stood in the right-hand batter's box for several seconds after the call was made, kind of looking around, and those are the kind of actions that especially umpires don't necessarily like. Umpires never like to be questioned in public.
The 1-0 pitch is taken for a strike to Miles Reese, who is 2 for 2 with a single and a double. 2 runs have driven in off the bat of Miles Reese. Here's the 1-1 pitch upstairs, and it's now 2-1.
Saw a video posted last night out of the American Association, the Chicago Dogs, same league that the Sioux Falls Canaries play in, and Butch Hobson, former major leaguer, manages the Chicago Dogs.
As that one's skied out towards left center field, Brecken Kruger will make the catch. He calls off Merkwan, and the run will come in to score on the RBI sac fly from Reese, but there's now 2 away. That's his 3rd RBI in the ball game.
Anyway, the video that was posted didn't show what precipitated the argument between Hobson and the umpire, but the video picked up they were having a heated exchange, and the next thing you see is Hobson making a motion like he's throwing the umpire out of the game. That was a first. Hadn't seen that before. As the first pitch is upstairs to Gage Sharping. Oh no, it hit Gage Sharping, so it's now 1st and 2nd. Here with 2 away to bring up the number 9 hitter, Nate Olson. I think Joe Girardi did that earlier this season whenever the Cardinals were playing the Phillies. And to Joe Girardi's credit or defense, the first 2 hitters had been hit on his team, and they didn't throw out the pitcher from the Cardinals. So there's a base hit to the left side for Olson. Everybody will hang up at the next base, and the bases are now loaded here with 2 away to bring up top of the order, and Grant Graber, the 9th man, to come to plate. But because he did not, the pitcher was not ejected, because Bryce Harper actually got hit in the face at that on the first pitch, and the second pitch came in and hit the next man, and so Girardi got pretty heated as that one's grounded foul. And he came out, was telling the umpire, Argan probably told him he needed to eject him, and all of a sudden, I think it was Joe Girardi who looked at Cabrera and threw him out of the game, and the umpire threw Girardi out of the game. So it counts now 0-1. Haven't really seen a whole lot of managers trying to eject the other team's players, as the 0-1 is fouled, and it's now 0-2. I believe, was it also Ozzie Guillen maybe that he no, maybe it wasn't Ozzie Guillen. Maybe it was Lou Piniella. They ended up kicking A.J. Przinsky's mask when he was arguing between the Cubs and White Sox, and I think he kicked the mask as the 0-2 pitch is taken for strike 3, and Gordon will get 2 strikeouts in the top of the 5th inning, but 3 runs do come in to score for Sioux Falls East as they got 3 hits in the inning, no errors, and then 3 men left on base. We head to the bottom of the 5th. Post State needs 3 runs to keep this ball game alive. They trail 14-2 of Sioux Falls East. Back in a minute, we listen to Post 8 baseball on today's KCCR and today's KCCR.com.
At Black Hills Federal Credit Union, our top priority is providing value to our members. Since 1941, we have helped our neighbors buy homes and vehicles, finance their farms and ranches, insure their assets, and retire comfortably. From Custer to Sioux Falls, we live and work in our communities, and we treat our members like family. Visit bhfcu.com to learn more about how you can join. BHFCU is member-owned, not-for-profit, and federally insured by NCUA.
Home Care Services is a private agency committed to providing expert advice and specialized care to those who want to remain living independently at home. Home Care Service has a team of nurses, caregivers, and administrative staff that offers a full range of in-home support services to our area. For more information about Home Care Services, call 224-2273. Expert advice, professional care. Home Care Services, 224-2273.
As we welcome you back here to Heights Stadium as we head to the bottom of the 5th inning, it'll be 9-1-2. Isaac Pollock, Lincoln Keenels, and Cade Hinkle. And Post State needs 3 runs to keep this first game going.
Number 7, Andrew Evenson.
Andrew Evenson is now on the mound for Sioux Falls East, trying to finish this first game out. They're 3-1 this season, looking to go 4-1 as the first pitch to Isaac Pollock will be outside for ball 1.
And again, this is likely a strategic decision from the Sioux Falls East coaching staff. Like we said, Boyum in line for the win today, staying under that pitch count limit.
Reese back in and play. The throw to first is not in time. Pollock gets down the line quickly, and he beats out the infield single. And the leadoff man is aboard to bring up Lake Kakinos, who is 1 for 2. Well, there's your start. You need at least 3 runs. You have to have 3 runs in this bottom of the 5th inning. Can't have any less. There's the start that you need if you're going to make that happen.
Yeah, Boyum now would be available to pitch on Wednesday for Sioux Falls East in a big doubleheader, even early in the year against what probably is going to be a very, very good Brandon Valley team. And so I suspect they probably wanted to keep him under that 60-pitch limit so they could rule him out on the mound at some point in that doubleheader.
The 0-1 pitch is upstairs, and the count's now even at a ball and a strike. Post State will play Watertown, as well as then on Thursday as a 1-1 pitch. They swing and a miss, and it's now 1-2. Mitchell. Play Mitchell on Thursday and Watertown on Wednesday. Watertown's played quite a few games. I mean, they were one of the teams that didn't play. Watertown, Aberdeen, and then, of course, the Rapid City post 22 and post 320, as Kenols will take strike 3. And there's now 1 down here in the bottom of the 5th to bring up Cade Hinkle. Those were the 4 teams in South Dakota that did not play high school baseball. So they got a chance to have their season start a little bit earlier than everybody else. They'll play several more games than everybody else. But in terms of overall, most of these kids will have played high school and Legion baseball. That one's grounded. That will be a step on the bag at first. There was no indication on if that was a fair ball or foul ball. And so Hinkle is right now out at first, and the runner on at second, and Isaac Pollock.
Yeah, I mean, from up here, it certainly looked like Bo fielded the ball in foul territory, and so. And I think that's where the discussion, Brian White coming down the line, having a conversation with the home plate umpire and trying to get some clarification as to where that ball was. And Nathan Nas, the first base coach, making an X in the dirt. He says, here's where the ball was when he fielded it, and he's marking an X in the dirt that's about 3 feet foul.
Yeah, he's pointing to it in the dugout, too. And you know, it's not a question that Cade Hinkle is definitely out at first, but if the ball is foul ball, I think they are going to say it's a foul ball. So there's still only 1 down, as the count is 0-1 to Hinkle. So it's 0-1, and we get back to everybody going back to their normal positioning with Isaac Pollock over at first base. Maybe, you know, Nathan Nas had his case. He won his case. 0-1 pitch is fouled away. It's now 0-2. Maybe he becomes a lawyer.
I was going to say, has he got a future as a potential defense attorney going forward? When the coaching career and teaching career is done?
When you have some problem, call Nathan Nas, the defense attorney. Here's CO2. That's upstairs. It's now 1-2. I'll have to tell him that when he comes up here for his in-between game interview. He said he's looking for the AC.
Yes.
He's going to enjoy being in the shade and the AC. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Hinkle swings and misses an all-speed pitch, and he goes down on strikes, and there's now 2 away here in the bottom of the 5th inning, and Post State now down to its last out here in the 5th inning, barring a 3-run, 2-out rally to send this ball game into the 6th, down 14-2. 11 hits for Sioux Falls East, just 6 for Post State, make it 7 as Gordon will line it into center field for a base hit, as now first and second here with 2 away. And then to bring up Matt Hansen. It's going to be his first at-bat of this ball game, as he was the starting pitcher and then moved to second base, but he was being DH for by Bennett Dean. And because Dean was a DH, Hansen moves in the field. Dean will have to come out of the ball. It came out of the ball game, and Hansen goes in his spot in the batting order. First pitch to him is over for strike one.
Gordon continues to swing a hot bat, now 9 for 19 on the year, just a shade under 500 through these first 5 games.
Here's the 0-1 pitch. He'll line that one to the second baseman. It is going to be on the ground, but the throw to first is in time, and post 15 Sioux Falls East will win game number 1 of this doubleheader by a score of 14-2. No runs, 2 hits, no errors, and 2 men left on base in that 5th inning. 14-2 win in game 1 for post 15 Sioux Falls East. We step aside for 2 minutes, come back with a wrap-up of game 1. Also have our mid-game, in-between game interview with Coach Nathan Nas. You're listening to Post State Baseball on today's KCCR and today's KCCR.com.
Home Care Services is a private agency committed to providing expert advice and specialized care to those who want to remain living independently at home. Home Care Service has a team of nurses, caregivers, and administrative staff that offers a full range of in-home support services to our area. For more information about Home Care Services, call 224-2273. Expert advice, professional care. Home Care Services, 224-2273.
Building a home. It's the biggest investment most of us make in a lifetime. Not to mention, it's a decision that, well, you pretty much live with day and night. The quality of the workmanship stares back at you like a reflection. It also affects the value of your investment. Choosing the right contractor is critical. Kruger Contracting is that contractor. Call 222-2523. Quality workmanship and materials completed on time. Kruger Contracting. In a word, quality. Call 222-2523.
Sioux Nation of Fort Pierre knows what that sound is. It's baseball season. They also know that means it's grilling season. Sioux Nation has the Green Mountain Grill choices that you need for those hot dogs and burgers for tailgating. And let's be honest, you know there will be a steak in there too. Visit Sioux Nation of Fort Pierre and see their selection of grills. While you're there, also pick up some seasonings for your grilling needs. Visit Sioux Nation at 504 Deadwood Street, Fort Pierre.
As we welcome you back here to Hyde Stadium, as it is a 14-2 win for Sioux Falls East in game number 1, as we're joined here with Coach Nathan Nas. And Coach, we'll first kind of start off here because, Matt Hanson was the starter. Andy Gordon came in game number 2, but they had 11 hits in the ball game. This is kind of a game where, especially in that first inning, if you take away some of those hits that weren't, they didn't hit the ball over the field. They just got the hits to fall in that first inning, kind of snowballed in that first for you guys.
Yeah, Matt, for the most part, he was doing a pretty good job in that first inning. They were just getting the bat on the ball, hitting it where we weren't. Not really anything overpowering or any shots. It's just well-timed, well-placed hits, and then we just got to be more consistent throwing strikes.
Yeah, and end up with I think 11 walks overall, 10 walks and a hit by pitch, or maybe 2 hit by pitch. So too many free passes again for you guys in that first game.
Yeah, when you give up that many free bases, it's tough to get a win. But the guys, they battled, they played hard. Matt had that long first inning and then came back in the second and third inning, and apart from that home run, really shut them down almost all together.
Yeah, and so I think that's kind of the thing that probably continues to be a little bit of an Achilles heel is just the fact that the pitching staff is struggling to find the strike zone on a consistent basis. When they throw strikes, they're really tough, but those walks and hit batters and then that tends to lead to miscues in the field as your defense kind of gets back on their heels, watching a lot of pitches. That kind of seems to be the Achilles heel so far in the 3 losses so far for the Eights now that they're 2-3 on the year.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's one thing White's talked to all the guys about. That it's tough to play defense behind, like if you're not throwing strikes, because you're sitting there and then you're sitting there and then all of a sudden you got to make a play, and it's been a while. It's tough to stay completely locked in when an inning gets as long as a couple of these have for us. And so yeah, if we throw strikes, whether you're throwing 70 or 90, you're going to get outs.
And Bennett Dean's your starter in game number 2, and I mean, it's pretty an obvious answer, but just from your perspective, just how important it is to get out with a good start with him on the mound.
Yeah, and that's one thing. Even if, he might not have his best stuff, but he's usually pretty consistent for us on the mound. So we just got to look for him to do what he usually does, and then we got to put together better at bats. We watched a lot of first pitch fastballs go by that last game. That we just got to be more aggressive at the plate and swing it more.
So as you're going forward, as you kind of look down the line, you've got a big week ahead of you with the doubleheader today, doubleheader Wednesday, doubleheader Thursday, and then doubleheader Saturday. You're getting to that point, and you've got a big schedule in June. I mean, you're having to manage a lot of games in a short period of time, and so trying to keep your pitchers on some kind of schedule is becoming more and more important going forward.
Yeah, absolutely. And we told the guys, you just got to throw strikes. When you throw strikes, you can stay in the game longer. And yeah, with the stretch we got coming up, it's going to be as important as ever to go out there, throw strikes, get through innings, and try to last in the game as long as you can. And we talked to the guys too that like Andy Gordon in 3 years, I think that's the second time he's ever come in and pitched for us. We talked to all those position guys about, hey, be ready to roll. We got 13 guys here today. Booth's injured. Lettler's injured now too, so we got 11 guys that are able to play today. So in the second one, and so we just told them you got to be ready to do whatever it is that we need you to do. And Andy was a perfect example of that, coming in and really throwing well.
And so now, what's it going to take here for you guys to get another split to make sure you stay at 500 so far this year?
Throw strikes, and I think we just be more aggressive at the plate. We watched too many fastballs go by, and we were swinging at too many breaking balls. And when you get those breaking balls, if it's a count in the pitcher's favor, you got to do what you got to do. But especially early in the counts, if he's throwing a lot of fastballs early, not being afraid and being ready to jump on those right away.
Before you do leave, we got to give a shout out to Coach Adam Spohr, his training regimen, and he's a competitive guy.
Spohr and I have really been training, putting things together for the kids and following through with themselves. And as Nye likes to say, winners win.
Yeah, and
that's about all I can leave it at.
I was going to say that. Coach, I appreciate the time. Good luck in game number 2, and we will talk to you again as Coach Nathan Nas of the Pierre Post State. They fall in game number 1, a 14-2 win for Sioux Falls East over Post State. We will step aside, and we will come back here after a little bit. We'll hear from News Director Zach Nelson, his weekend news. We'll take a 2-minute break, come back with his weekend news. You're listening to Post State Baseball.